Lace is the immortal classic, unaffected by the changes of time and fashion, and since its very creation, it symbolizes femininity and noblesse. Let yourself enjoy the luxury of wearing lace with the help of our brand new video course, Fancy Lace Dress 3-in-1. Even if it's your first time sewing, it's worth it to start. And start with such a beautiful dress. You'll be unparalleled in this magnificent self-made lace dress, no matter where you are and with whom you are. Hello and welcome to the Global Fashion Workshop channel. I remind you that we release a new video 3 times a week. We keep working on the exclusive jacket that'll be golden for me, with an asymmetrical collar, unique sleeves, and so on. We've done the sleeve already. You already know how to make such a sleeve. We've only made one using a sample fabric, but we'll get to the finale anyways. Now let's look at the picture. That's the collar I'll be making for my jacket. The right side will have a big roll turned upwards and a high collar. The left side, as you see, looks entirely different. And now we'll design all of the jacket that's left, including the asymmetrical collar. Here's something I want to say. I have the front and the back here. We'll look at it now. Look closely at the picture once again because I'll put it aside for now. We'll come back to it. I put away the magazine because we've looked at the collar already. And now we have the front as well as the back with the right arm side in front of us. But there are no more changes. What I want to do with this jacket, I need to decide on the length of it. It'll be about as long as that, maybe shorter. So I don't add and I don't remove anything for now. This will be the length with the hem. I'll make the side panel and the bust dart, and then when the front pattern is ready, I'll copy it to a tracing paper, adding allowances for the collar parts, the roll lines, and so on. Now let's design the side panel. That's how the seams will be placed. The side panel will be about 11.5 to 12 centimeters, maybe 13 centimeters. Don't make the side panels too wide. For those who are of a bigger size, your jacket should have the side seam as well as the princess line on the front and on the back too, or it won't fit. Naturally, there'll be no dart. There won't be a dart. We'll move them here. Moving a little bit. Don't try to make it the same size. The back of the side panel is always higher than the front. I need to remove it from here, but I don't do that. I want to make it seem like I have some beautiful hips. Actually, designing the side panel takes about 3 minutes. The back, the front. For what we didn't make fit, we might add some dart here after fitting, if we see it needs one, or we'll move it here. I think we'll decide after fitting. I actually stand for not fitting it enough. It always depends on the physique of a person. One thing is how you imagine it to be in theory, and another thing is when the person stands in front of you when fitting. This bust dart will move here, and it'll be the French dart. It'll move to the waist. We already know all the rules of a French dart, that we need to baste it starting from the apex. How does it happen that the lower side of it is longer than the higher side? Why does it happen? Because the angle is different. When you close the dart, you should always trim the line, just a bit. It's only about 3 millimeters, but I've trimmed it. Now we have the front panel. This side is center front. We'll redraw it now because we have asymmetry, and we need it. We'll have the right and the left front parts. Look here, that's my jacket now. The back, the side panel, and the front. The front doesn't have many details, and there's a French dart. The collar is meant to grab all the attention. Here we have our interesting sleeves, so there's nothing to do with it anymore. No need to cut anything. If we need it, we'll make a dart here. The front, after designing the side panel and the dart, I put it on 2 layers of tracing paper. I don't need this. That's the center front. And the width of the wrap to make it double-breasted is 6.5 to 7 centimeters. Here's the waistline. Here's the center front. It's copied to the other layer. There's the side of the button stand, and I cut the tracing paper. I put it together, the center fronts, the right side. Well, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to remove about 1.5 centimeters from the shoulder. I'll cut it now. And we'll need to do it on the back too. So, what I have, I won't even cut it. The neckline is now here.
Я просто вижу, где у меня тут.
We made it wider. We moved the shoulder. That's it. Now to the left side. That's the right side. I put the center fronts together. Mark it down. The right one. The right side. Now we won't mix it up. Mark it down. The left one. The right side. Now it's time to design the collar. We remember that the right part of it is a roll that goes up. You'll see it. I'll draw it. But before we design the roll, we need to decide where the first button will be. For the double-breasted clothes, I love it when the first button is a bit lower than the chest. So the first button will be around here. I'll place my first button here, under the chest. Here's where the shoulder starts. Now I need to draw the roll line. Here's where the shoulder starts. And the fold will be 2 centimeters away from it. Here's the roll line. That's 2 centimeters. We connect this point with this one, just a bit higher than the first button for about 1 millimeter higher. Despite the asymmetry of the collar, the roll line is the same on both sides. That's why I'll put them together by the wrong sides and copy the roll line. I match them. We could have measured 2 centimeters on the other side, but it wouldn't work. Like this. The left one, the right side. The right one, the right side. That's the roll line. We already know where the first button is, like this. We should design the roll before the collar. The roll goes up almost until the shoulder, so we make the side of the button stand just a bit longer. Just make it a bit longer. We could have drawn an angle here and let it out there. But it's too much for the width of the roll, from the fold to the side of the button stand. That's why, for the double-breasted garments, we move this line by 1.5 to 2 centimeters. So based on this point, we draw this. I'll shade it later so that you understand. I moved this line here and made it lean a bit. I'm thankful to you for your patience and for watching our lessons, because they can be complicated. There goes the line. I'll shade the roll so you can see it properly until the roll line, from the side to the fold. Here, I've shaded it, and now you can properly see it. Now, when you'll be applying additional interfacing, it'll help you. You already know where the roll line is. You see this line well. Next, where the roll is crossing this, since we haven't cut anything, we've only drawn the line for cutting, there's this point. The upper side here is crossed by the roll line. It's better if this line has at least 1 centimeter here, and then it connects with the shoulder. We'll sew the collar into this corner. Here's where the shoulder starts. Here's the roll line. If we sew in the collar here, this corner won't stick outside. We have a very beautiful roll. We can make it even a little bit higher, and we're ready to design the collar on this side. The right part already has its roll. Next, we'll start from the shoulder. We'll measure the back of the neck here. From the back, we need to remove 1.5 centimeters to begin with. We can't just remove it from one side and forget the other. There's about 5 to 6 millimeters at max. That's it. We're now finished with the shoulders. Now we need to measure this distance. This distance, usually it's 9 to 9.5 centimeters. You know, it's exactly 9.5. I feel it. I know it all so well. It's 9.5 centimeters here. I'll go for 10 centimeters just in case. 10. Okay, and I'll draw this line higher for 10 centimeters more from the shoulder. It's better if the angle here is 90 degrees, and here as well. We'll use our favorite width, 7 to 8 centimeters. 8 is the maximum. See, we're getting the collar. This is a right angle, and this is a right angle. Next, here, from let's say the middle, we'll start the collar. But this is a perk you can't do without, however you desire. And the lapel here will be very narrow. Here on the lapel will be a reference mark. Where's the reference mark? Here's the reference mark. Here's the reference mark. They should match. But it's not the collar yet. We need to work on it more. We obviously will be making a one-piece collar, no seam at the back of it. It's a bit complicated today, but it's fine. So, the right part consists of this roll. Here, if we fold it, and the marks should match. Just by design, just how it is in the sketch. This corner is close to the shoulder, and this lapel is very small. The other part is completely different. Next, but the collar is not ready yet. Now we can open it a little. I'll make their cuts. Well, we'll open it each by 5 to 7 millimeters. The more you open it, the more it leans to the back. The right part is ready, both the roll and the collar. Now, we know that we have the back ready, and the side panel is ready too. The sleeve and the collar on the right, though the collar will be put together with the left half later. Yes, it's 8 centimeters wide. Next, we fold it by the fold line. You can even add a bit. We removed some there, but here we can even add a bit. I'll show you what. There we removed some from the button stand, but here we can even add 1 centimeter. I'll shade the roll line here too. You know how I drew the line. You may put the pattern on yourself. You can measure from the base of the neck to the place you want with a measure tape. You may know in advance. I, for one, know that I prefer it when the double-breasted jacket has buttons under the chest. That's why I instantly knew where the first button will be. I've shaded the roll for you now. I'll do this here too now. Now I've shaded the roll. Here's where the shoulder starts. There goes the line, and here's the side of the roll. And here on this side, we'll sew in the collar. The shape of the collar will be entirely different. The angle will be like this. The lapel here is entirely different. See how small it is here? And here it's like this. It can be on the same level if you use the compass, or it can be smaller or bigger. Well, it doesn't matter. I draw the collar like this now. We measure 10 above the shoulder just the same way. And just the same way, we measure 8 centimeters at a right angle. And from this line, we draw a line to this point. But it's not the collar yet. We'll open this part. Now look. The right one, the left one. And just the same way, I open the center of the collar because now we'll cut out a one-piece collar. Lord, how amazing I'm going to look. The left half of the collar, the right half of the collar. That's how the collar looks. Only now do we have different angles. Here the collar will be like this, and here it will be entirely different. Very small. Now I'll put it on the tracing paper and redraw a one-piece collar. Now I copy it. After that, of course, I'll make the lines pretty. At the moment, my goal is to keep the center back. Here, this place. It's not easy to make a collar that'll be different on different sides. I throw all that away. the lapel, the corner that will be sewn in. With this method, everything's going to be fine because we design it where we cut it. And I don't think it's too complicated. For those who want to make it more leaning to the back, you should open it here more. Try making a sample. If you don't like it, you can change it. Don't cut it out of the fabric you want to use right away. That's why I don't do that. Okay, so the sleeve is ready, the back is ready, the panel on the side is ready, and the roll is ready, and the asymmetrical collar too. Thanks to the French book, it gave us the idea. I don't really like the collars that rest on the back, so I don't open it too much. This corner is for the left part. We match these reference marks, the left one. So that means that this is the right one. Wow, we've done so much today. Well, it's a bit too long. It won't suit a pleated skirt. We'll make it shorter in the process. The back, the side panel are wonderful and very unique sleeve. And the asymmetrical collar. So in our next lesson, I'll pin it, and I'll show you, and I'll cut it without checking in advance. I'm sure I'll do well. So I'll cut right away, and then I'll try such a wonderful jacket on with my pleated skirt. Be your own kind of beautiful, different every day. Use your imagination. I know that my students and my clients have a very vivid imagination because of what they tell us. I ask them why they decided to be managers then or something like that, and when they're designers. No renowned designer can think of what my clients and my students do. That's why I don't doubt your imaginations. Like and share our videos on social media. Buy our courses and watch our lessons. Thank you for watching. All the best from Irina Paukshte and the rest of our team.